All over England there are beautiful, beautiful things to see and beautiful things to do, and just 2 hours away from where we live is a lovely place which once upon a time it held the record for the world's largest man-made structure, which was even taller than the Great Pyramids of Giza. There are witchcraft myths and stories and legends, and which included killing some of these witches. The longest ever Roman road finishes in this place, and then there's the beautiful buildings which were built by William the Conqueror. Let's go on another adventure. So 600 feet above sea level, I want to say, is a hidden little beauty which is called Lincoln. Lincoln is a very small city. It only has around 180,000 residents, but you can't really call this place hidden when you have the Lincoln Cathedral. It stands at 160 meters high. Once upon a time, it is actually said it was taller than the pyramids of Giza until the spear or spire actually fell down. There's so much history about this place, how many times it's had to be rebuilt, restructured because of earthquakes or fire. I think we should go in and take a look how beautiful this place is. Take a look at this. This is still an active place of worship, and for over 1,000 years they have still had active prayers going, and we've actually just arrived just as the prayers started, where everyone stands still, the church bells, the cathedral bells ring, and the whole place then falls silent for everyone to have their continued prayers. Look at this place, just take a look. It's absolutely beautiful architecture. The lighting is just immaculate. And this cathedral, it actually stands, like I said, 160 meters high. It has a floor space of 50,000 square feet. It was originally built in 1072, and it was all built in literally 20 years, that's right, 20 years, this magnificent cathedral was built. Stood so grandly and beautifully for such a long time, and then in 1185 was when the earthquake happened, where it rumbled through England and it destroyed so much of the cathedral, and it was rebuilt and rebuilt again. And over time, many people have reigned over England, and one said person was King Edward I. You'd think a cathedral would just be just a square or something easy to find your way around. However, there's lots of little alcoves and little ways you can go and different places that you can see or you can pray. And I'm actually in one little area now, and this is dedicated to emergency services and the NHS. So there's different sections like this one for the emergency services, NHS, and then there's another one for soldiers, and then there's another one for different groups of people what have done good or are good people. And it's absolutely breathtakingly beautiful, and the scale of it all and the detail in all of the work which has gone in here and the craftsmanship into this place is just absolutely beautiful. So I think most people who are from Britain will have heard of Charing Cross. So going back to King Edward I, his wife, Eleanor, they were moving from London up to Lincoln, and this was where they were going to spend their days together. But unfortunately, 50 miles away, Eleanor passed away, and King Edward was so distraught, so upset by all of this, that what he did was he took her body back to London and stopped at 12 different places, which are called the Eleanor Cross. Now, these are long, high stone monuments which you can find dotted from here to London, and the famous one being Charing Cross. And I've seen these when I've been driving around in England, but I've never known what they were for until I came here today and what they symbolise. But when he took Eleanor's body back, he actually kept all of her vital organs here, and they're buried inside of here, just at this end of the cathedral. However, there is prayer going on at the moment, and I think it would be very disrespectful of me to go in there with my camera on, talking about her tomb and where her body parts are buried when there's people praying. And this is it. This is the tomb or the shrine of Eleanor. Like I say, her body is down in Westminster in London, but this is where the shrine lays. Now, bodies are laid from east to west. I think it has something to do with the passing over of their soul or getting to heaven. However, they never point north, and I do know this because north is this way, and north symbolises where evil actually comes from, which then brings me on to something which you probably cannot see right up here. So did you see up there? Right up there? They're called imps, I-M-P. Now, I shouldn't really feel so excited about imps, but there's myths and folklore about them, but also, more worryingly, there are two of them inside of this church, and they are meant to have been sent by the devil to cause mischief and cause trouble inside of the cathedral, where they would break the furniture, they would trip up the religious people who were here or blow out the candles, any sort of mischief that they could. But it's also legend that they do run wild around the castle and the grounds of the cathedral, and supposedly they've been noticed outside too. Did you also notice underneath the imp there was a man with a beard carved out of the stone or the marble? Well, we're all Instagram hungry, or we all want likes, or we all want to put our photos and pictures out there. Well, way back in the day they didn't have cameras, but they're actually classed as selfies, and the architect who took part in building parts of this beautiful building, that's their carvings of their face. So like we do today, we put our pictures up everywhere. Well, the architect did the exact same thing. I think it's lovely to think that you actually get to see the people who created this beautiful place. And these aren't actually windows, these are just like carvings of wood where air is coming through to light to the courtyard out here. And I can hear the acoustics up above all echoing around. It just sounds so beautiful. And as you come around this corner now, as the light will change, you'll see how beautiful it actually is. And take a look, imagine being in this courtyard. Oh, and hearing the bells going and the people cheering of the local city. And once upon a time, you probably watched Cher here live. She always makes an appearance to Cher. If you are a film buff, you probably will have recognised parts of this beautiful cathedral, because Westminster Abbey in London would not allow the filming of the Da Vinci Code, the film with Tom Hanks in. So they all jumped on the little train or in the car, came up to Lincoln, and they actually filmed it, or parts of it I should say, actually inside this very cathedral. Tom Hanks even was invited and took part in a private ghost tour as well, which I think would be very interesting, but we're not going to be doing that. Okay, so now we're back outside. I just wanted to finally say it was £12 to get in per adult. Children do get in for free. And I wanted to end the video with something I find quite comical. I shouldn't laugh, but I do find it quite funny. So right up here is the bell tower, and in there is a load of bells. I believe there's 12 or 13 bells. The biggest one, his name is Big Tom. Like in London they have Big Ben, this one is called Big Tom, and it weighs so much that they got the naughty children from when Big Tom was installed, and it's believed that they strapped the children to the outside of Big Tom as he was being lifted up, and it was because the building is so old, and it was like the vibrations, if it hit the building it would cause more damage. So they don't know whether the children actually used their feet pressing against the wall as Big Tom was being moved up, or if they were actually squished to death. But that's how it goes, that the children, the naughty kids of Lincoln helped get Big Tom up there. From the cathedral, which is just here, which you can barely even make out, it is so misty and hazy and foggy, or whatever the weather is, it's cloudy. From there you just literally walk along here to get into the castle. Now, some facts of Lincoln: there is once the longest Roman built road, which stretched 200 miles, and it actually ends in Lincoln, and it now forms part of the A46 road. Now, this I can guarantee is not a Roman road, because if it was a Roman road, it would be certainly a lot better condition than that one certainly is. So you make your way into the castle grounds. It's free to enter and walk around. See the walls all around. And we're hopefully going to get to go inside today. Unfortunately, to get inside to what we wanted to see in the castle is actually closed today. We came to see something called the Magna Carta. Now, the Magna Carta was produced in June of 1215, and basically it was a law that stated that the royals and the common man, they all had to be under the same law. So a king could not do something different than what the common man could, and not what was illegal, and could also be charged for it, if that makes sense. So we wanted to come and see it. However, we can't get in to see it today, so all I can do is show you a picture of it here while we walk around the grounds, and just up there we can go and see the dragons. As we leave the sleeping dragons up there to rest, I wanted to tell you a little fact about the castle, that it's almost 1,000 years old, and executions did take place here of criminals and also of what were believed to be witches. And there was a family of 4. There was the mum and 3 daughters, and one of the daughters, she literally threw her mother and her 2 sisters under the bus, or should I say under the cart and horse as it was then, as she believed that they were witches. And she was let off because she reported her family members for being witches. You hear them growling. The dragons are stirring. And she was let off because she told the courts that her family members were actual witches, and they were hung right here for being supposedly witches. And then recently, well, say recently, it was like 28 years ago, I think now, that a lady was having some work done in her home, and she was having foundations built, and what one of the builders uncovered was what they now believe to be a witch's bottle, and we would now call that a spell. And it was a little greenish coloured bottle. Inside were bent pins, there was human hair, and what is believed to be human urine. And that's meant to be from somewhere around this area where this potion or spell was made, and the house where it was found isn't even that far away. So witchcraft, did it actually happen here? Was it real? Or were it just people who believed in more of a herbal remedy to fix illnesses and illnesses? You know what a word I'm bloody trying to say. Either way, whatever you believe, people were killed here for being witches. One little less known famous person, because I believe that she should be, her name should be shouted out, is a lady called Charlotte Scott, and she was born in 1858. And back then, women didn't have the rights that they do have now, and Charlotte was a fantastic mathematician, and she wanted to get a degree in maths, but typical, women weren't allowed, and she wasn't allowed, but she fought, and she did manage to get her degree down in Cambridge, and then from there she moved over to Pennsylvania, and that's where she actually became the head of mathematics in Philadelphia. And I would love to give her a shout out, because maybe she helped pave the way in women's rights and women getting education and doing something with their lives rather than just being told what they could and couldn't do by men. Well, I do hope you've enjoyed our little walk around, more of the cathedral than the castle, unfortunately. I'm sorry it was a very short video this time, but I have to be really honest with you. I have arthritis in my feet, and this morning I had to go to the doctor's and I had the injections put in both of my big toes. And my feet are absolutely killing me. And the walk from the car park up to the cathedral, it's like this. I don't know if you watched my vlog where I went up to Mount Everest base camp on that hike, which took me 9 days. I can tell you the hike to Mount Everest base camp is not like this. That was so much easier than this today. So I do apologise that it has just been a short video. I hope that you've got to see a little bit of that beautiful, beautiful place. We've bought a year-long ticket, so we can definitely come back, hopefully when there's going to be better weather, and then we might be able to see the top. You could do the tours where you could climb to the top and you could see all around beautiful Lincoln, but with the weather the way it is, there would have just been no point at all. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and please leave a comment, whether it be on whichever social platform you're on, and give you a thumbs up, and don't forget to like and follow. Love you, bye. I have to give that a second. Which are paying homage to different people who are working. Oh God. It is taller than the Egyptian pyramids. It stands at almost 600 feet. No, it fucking doesn't. Spirits, but actual people of... Oh, fuck. Shouldn't swear in here, should I? Fucking hell. So that was the cathedral. I hope you enjoyed it inside. I hope I made sense with me trying to explain everything, and I'm going to fucking drown that kid in the moat. So that was the cathedral. I hope you understood what I was trying to explain with all the history and all the little wonderful things inside. But I wanted to exit and just tell you that it was only £12 per adult to get in. Children come for free in that fucking bus. I do hope you enjoyed our little... I'm laughing because of these fucking outtakes. These fucking kids on that bastard bus. Let's try again. I do. Fuck's sake. I can't stop laughing now. Lincoln... I can't even fucking say it. Lincoln Cathedral. Up until maybe... Oh, fuck no. And 3 daughters. And 1 mum. Fuck. Oh, by the way. Never tickle a gig... Oh, fuck. Beautiful place which has more fucking cunts. It has, yeah, it probably has got cunts living there. What I was meant to say was, never tickle a giggling chimp. Love you, bye.